Okay. There is an
There we go. We're
start
off.
now.
All right. So we did a little bit of intro. Void, somebody who's been pretty dedicated to this game for a long time, pretty dedicated to all three games. He's got really good times in all three. And Antilles is kind of the same way. He's got like a 42 in this. I think he's got 53 in DKC3, and I believe a 37 in DKC1. So they're both pretty well versed in Donkey Kong Country. And I just got to give a shout out to Antilles because you think about speedrunning and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I would ever have the time for that. I don't see how I could ever fit this into my busy schedule. Antilles works full time. He's got a family of 6 that he takes care of, and he rocks it. He's good at so many different games. He's good at whatever he puts his mind to. And so if you're sitting here tonight telling yourself, I couldn't do this, I couldn't find the time to do it, he is proof that yes, you can, and yes, you should if you're interested.
Absolutely. This is just a hobby, so he seems to don't have free time that you finally have if you just distribute your time, and I don't know how to say it. And I think that his family is watching us, maybe hearing us. So hello, if Antilla's family is watching the race.
So yeah, first 2 worlds. You guys know the verse by now. It's a lot of warping, wrong warping, or just taking the general warp barrels. You see just the small differences in skill that lead to why Void has the 40 and Antilles has a 42. It's these little small things. They maybe Void is a little bit more consistent in getting Luckjaw than Antilles, or just a little bit cleaner movement, are the things that can really lead to just big, seemingly big gaps in time.
Yeah, both know that they have to go for every risk strat. So we're gonna
Void's
watch.
fakeless.
Oh, Void is fakeless. Let's see Antilles.
Oh, not fakeless.
Oh,
But only one fake. One fake
only
between
one.
them. It continues.
So maybe you're a good luck charm after all.
I gotta be careful. I'm gonna get sucked into commentating every match in this tournament.
You should.
All right, so that's unfortunately a little bit of time loss for Antilles on Void. But both get the wrong warp, no problem.
Big voids for Void. Let's see Antilles.
Ideally, with runners of this caliber, you're not going to see a lot of excitement early on. No mistakes, hopefully. Just like I said, it's the minor optimizations that are gonna create a little bit of a gap here early on.
Yeah, and World 1 and 2 are the worlds that you're always playing in your runs. You play them a lot. So I guess they practice a lot in their lives. Even Void not stopping in the cliff. I don't know how was the name of that, but you can jump. Oh, until it's two. Jump and get the jump perfect, so Dixie doesn't stop a bit. So they're making really optimal moves, saving all the frames.
It's tough when you don't have a lot of breathing room. This is not like the first few rounds where Void might have gotten matched up with somebody who was like brand new to the game, and you're like, failed CLC twice, no big deal. You're playing against somebody that if you fail CLC, they are either right on your tail or they are probably going to pass you. I think we saw that just the other night. Nam failed CLC 1 or 2 times, and Eason had a few unfortunate deaths, and suddenly he was right on Nam's tail again. Oh no!
Oh,
the bounce. Oh man! So that happens if I think you're slightly off to the right of Cleaver and you try to jump. You'll kind of just short hop it, and you land right in the lava.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that death.
So
Well,
playing
Void
it,
got.
I said he's playing a little bit safe that time. Decided to just take the hooks.
Yeah, on Didi. I'm flying Didi for the fans.
Oh, gotta give it for the fans. Let's see, can we get Lava Fly?
Let's see.
Easy.
Okay.
Oh, but did not get Cleaver to come. Like when he
Oh.
went out there. That was weird. Not a big deal though. Oh, that is
Oh,
though.
oh, that's a big deal. Oh.
Oh, that is unfortunate. But you know, when you've played the game as much as these two have, you know the backups. You know how to handle it. So almost done here. Looks like he'll still be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The worst thing here is that you have to listen to this rap. But
Yes, that is true. You do get Diddy Boombox, which is a little bit longer than getting Dixie
yeah.
playing the guitar.
But in the next stage you have to be Didi, so well, it's not that big of
Not
a
that big a
deal.
deal. You
Yeah.
do need to get to Kong Barrel though pretty early on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know, Otter. Whoops.
Well, you can skip this DK barrel and then get it when you're Rambi.
Oh, yes. Yes. Void
Right
did get
here.
the G, so there's a style point to him for getting the G.
Ooh.
Antilles, who's big on the whole points of doing the swag things, you better get the G to follow suit here.
Yeah. Let's see if Antilles can go for the G. Well, Void is I think it's one of the hardest, if not the hardest stage to optimize. It's it seems easy, but it's quite hard to not stopping by hitting the corners and losing the momentum.
Oh, until
Oh,
he just misses the G. I thought he had it.
almost.
I thought he had it.
Yeah,
but,
me too.
All right. Both of these guys, I expect, pretty much could teach a class on how to optimally move through Glimmers at this point. Except for Void, kind of stumbled a little bit there. Nothing major, though. You got to wait for that lockjaw a little bit anyways
Yeah,
to
that
try and
lockjaw
sneak past
can.
him.
You have to take care of that lockjaw because he can hit you. So well, he went for a safer strat there. Very good movement.
But, yeah, even with the death, Antilles is keeping pace here pretty smoothly. Wow. Whew, that was a little dangerous by
Wow.
Void, but
Wow.
okay. I didn't know quite what
Okay.
he did there, but he did it. Oh man.
Wow. Didn't expect that. Okay, now Void is in Crackhead. It is one of the first harder stages because
Yeah, this is
it
kind of
requires
where
a lot of
the meat of the game hits. This is the first stage that when you're learning the game, especially, you're going to spend a lot of time on.
yeah. It requires a lot of platforming, rolling. You know really good. You have to know really good what to do. And until it's going for the spam goal.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Oh. Oh. Oof.
Didn't quite get on the goal for the goal swap. That was
Yeah.
not bad though. Didn't burn him.
Oh, the worst thing there is the enemy that can hit you, but he was okay there.
I'm curious if Antilles is playing a little bit more dangerous than he expected. Of course, I don't know. He's going up against Void, so he knows he really can't hold back. But yeah, this whole idea, I guess, of tournament versus you know, would I do this in a real run or would I do this?
Oh.
You know, would I hold back in a tournament? He loses Diddy there. It's unfortunate and it's going to cost him, but fortunately, there's a DK barrel pretty close.
Yeah, he tried the RP jump, couldn't get it.
Yeah, that jump over the B that he got hit on it's very tight.
Yeah.
I like new players. I would not recommend doing that for a while.
I wasn't sure if that last jam is going to
Grab the
get
read.
it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was risky.
All right, so here we are in Rattle Battle. Bradley has some bad hitboxes, but Void does his best to not, it didn't even look like it was a problem for him.
Yeah. He's now in Slime Climb. This wrong word is very important because you only have one chance to do that, and you want to get it. But I think Void is going to not even go for a optimal way to get the wrong word. Yeah, we're watching that.
See, looks clean and good.
Okay. If you miss the wrong word, you have to beat the level casually,
Yep,
and you lose a lot of time there.
Alright, Antilles took a hit, but he's pretty much in the clear. Just one more.
Yeah.
Enemy got it. Probably got the backup barrel here. And he's out.
Yes.
Alright, so Void going through Bramble Blast right now. Didn't pay attention to how well he did with the quick shots, but given how fast he's moving, I'm guessing he got most, if not all of them, right away. And a quick shot is if a barrel's facing the same direction as where you need to go, if you press A fast enough, you can actually shoot before it gets a chance to turn, and it just saves you some time and not having to deal with the turning cycles. Oh, vine clip instantly. Very good.
Very good.
So there's a nice small spot in the vine where if you do a big boy, you can throw Dixie through it, and Void gets it, without problem. I feel like Void probably put in some time after that first race. I don't think that went really how he expected it to.
Mm-hmm. A good thing that both runners got the slime climb.
Yeah.
Very good. Let's see if Void... Tell me? Oh, I was going to say that. Let's see. I think that both runners are going to do the optimal way to beat the boss.
Yeah, at their level, they got to be pretty confident at this point. They know how to do cudgel effectively. And what we're talking about there is you see how after every cycle they Void's kind of lining up in the same spot. Oh, nice. Antilles gets vine clip as well. And then they kind of step, as soon as the camera kind of locks, they step to the side and just instantly fling the TNT barrel back into cudgel. That just takes, it's a strat that saves you a little bit of time. It's kind of a big risk reward because if you mess it up, you have to go through the cycle again. But saves you, 6 seconds roughly over the course of the boss fight. It's almost a second per cycle versus just kind of stepping away and throwing it. And of course, it gets a little bit harder as you go along. Runners usually have a cue like Dixie's kind of mouth when she's breathing, or hair oscillations, whatever it is that makes it easy to see for you. And they use a certain number, like phase 1, there's 6, and the last phase there's like 1 breath before you need to move.
Yeah.
But yeah, both runners going for it.
Yeah. The worst thing is that you can lose a cycle there, but these runners are pretty good, so they won't lose a cycle on this boss. So we're now in Hornet Hole.
Yeah, Void's in Hornet Hole. Void is having one heck of a run right now, I gotta say.
Yeah. Pretty clean. He's going very fast.
All right, here we come on probably most people's favorite tricks, or one of their favorite tricks, Scrolly Scroll.
Yeah, there we are.
And sometimes it looks so slow to start, and I get a little worried, but easily handles it. Flies through the level.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Antilles is having a really good run too, and it's just the small differences, or it's just that Void got a little bit better RNG on Crow, and it's just the little things. If you looked at Antilles, you're like, man, this guy's having a pretty darn good run. But that's just what happens when when Void is on top of his game. He's hard to beat.
One of the most beautiful things to watch at optimal speedrunners that are at this high level is how fast can they climb. Right now is doing Antilles with the honey, or later with ropes or whatever. They climb really, really fast. Oh, grab the spider. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. If you want to do the scroll, You need the spider, and if the spider goes where the barrel is, you will miss it. But he's okay now.
But yeah, as Niaki was just mentioning, one of the true tests is how well you climb honey and ropes and things like that. Jumping off the honey can be really difficult. The timing is not always what you expect it to be, and in certain cases, kind of like right before the halfway point, where you've got the honey that kind of goes up the wall and then onto the floor, it can get really frustrating, especially if you land near that corner and you're not sure, do I have to hold right and jump? Do I just have to press jump? It's slightly more difficult than you'd think to master.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to master.
All right, now it's time for the next opportunity for one of Antilles' bonus points with the swag balloon, or as some people have recently called it, swagloon. I've never heard it called that, but apparently I'm the crazy one. I don't know. I always heard swag balloon.
Yeah, me too. It's
Why does
it's like
not know?
required, but oh, Void is taking seriously this race. They don't want swag. He just wants to win. Okay.
I mean, I don't blame him. Again, Antilles is not that far behind, and you've got Brambler coming up here. One of the most difficult, if not the most difficult, wrong warp. This is kind of where I like to give my summary of it, while Void is going to get it first try, assuming he got the IDs. Okay. So, wrong warps work by clashing two objects against each other to create an invisible object, and by manipulating the various IDs of like enemies, objects, etc., you can spawn an invisible thing, invisible barrel, invisible cannon, whatever it may be. And you want to throw this invisible object at the right time and with the right combination of IDs.
Exactly.
And so Brambler is tough because you have to worry about the crook that's below you. You have to get up there before his hook comes back to him, because that hook is a separate object. And then you also have to worry about the fact that, unlike most clashes or bashes in this game, it's not two tangible objects like a cannonball and a chest, or two beetles or something like that. You're worried about clashing a beetle against the wall of the bramble at the right time. And that can be really tricky to learn.
Absolutely. It's just about timing. You have to. Oh, until it's going for it. Nice. You have to know when do you have to stop pressing the Y button and then press it again, and it's not quite easy. It is one of the hardest things in the whole game, in my opinion.
So no more breathing room for Void just yet until he gets that first try as well. So kind of the gap between them stays the same at the moment. And we've got another wrong warp coming up here with Mudhole. Mudhole in general is a really difficult level to learn. You're going to see dives or some rolls in what they call eagle pits here. And you're toying with death. You're rolling just like that under the barrel, kind of near the death plane.
Wow.
And
It's
so
rolling deep.
And so just it's dangerous. You don't take the invincibility barrel here if you're a good runner. Some of these jumps are tight. If you roll into these dragonflies and don't jump at the right time, you gain too much speed and you just fall right into the marsh. It is one of the most difficult levels, especially in the first 4 worlds. Now this wrong warp coming up here, I wouldn't say it's difficult. Once you get the hang of it, it's not difficult. But it's one of the more technical ones to set up. There's a lot of ID manipulation you have to do here in order to get the trick correct.
Yeah, even the first thing to not getting the bonus game while jumping is hard. But when you're just you have practiced a lot, it's like easy, but not that easy. Well, he got it first try and even very fast.
Yeah, that was a really clean setup.
Yeah. Mad Hole, that is the stage which is Antilles now, he's going as optimal as Void. It's very hard because it has a lot of platforming, a lot of optimal way to jump, to roll, and then has the wrong warp. It's one of the most complete stages of the whole game. So we have the luck to watch both at this level.
Yeah, right now, Ramby, there's some tech with Ramby involving, kind of making sure you maintain your speed after running into an enemy or kind of on a changing elevation. But for the most part, it's a pretty straightforward section. You're charging and jumping for the most part. All right, Antilles setup looks good. But he didn't. Oh no!
Oh,
What didn't he get?
I think that the flower went off screen, maybe.
I'm usually when you mess this trick up. So the big important step is that when you throw that cannonball, the first two beetles, their IDs are loaded, and the third one is not until you throw on the cannonball and you kind of get that little explosion graphic from throwing the cannonball. Normally, if you mess it up, that's the case, is that you either didn't load the second beetle or you did not, or you loaded the third beetle too early. So I'm going to guess that is what happened.
But he know how to do this level optimal, even warbless. He didn't lose a lot of time, or maybe.
That's not good though.
Okay, he's okay.
While
Void is don't sleep on the king. Okay, he killed it. Very, very clean ran from Void.
Yeah, he's running against different splits. He's not running against his world record splits. But the time listed here is a 41:39, and he's ahead by 32 seconds. He is on a very good run right now.
His splits are called any percent tourney edition. So I guess he's PB in the tournament comparing against tournament PBs.
Oop, little mistake there. That's a tough clobber to get over.
Okay. Well, this is the World 5. It's one of the I don't know, but could be the hardest level, the hardest world, because it has PCP, webwoods, even Gusty Glade could make
Gusty Glade is definitely a tricky one early on. I don't know. I feel like level 1 and 2 are definitely a nice breather after having a World 4 full of, wrong warps and big boys, and even King Zing can be a little bit tough if you're trying to go as fast as you can. The first two levels are a nice little breather. Of course, that being said, this level actually requires, it's kind of like Glimmers in the sense that you think when you're learning, how much time could I possibly lose here? Well, you can lose a decent amount if you're not optimal with your jumps, because the idea here is to jump up big slopes, jump down big slopes, and refrain from jumping on level ground as much as possible.
Yeah, and it's also called one hand, as it's been written on the chat, because you only need one hand to pass this level. You only need to jump.
Yes.
So I also take this level as you just rest the left arm, because in the whole game you have to press right all the time, or directions if you are swimming or flying. So as after this stage it's going to be Gusty Glade, PCP, and webwoods. It's like rest the left arm because you need it a lot. The rest 3 stages.
Like I said, that clobber that Antilles just passed, both of them bumped into it. It's difficult to get over, and it's difficult because you want to get over it without running into the Crusha. Sometimes I know enemy names.
We've seen the U2Bs, the 2Bs from the U version, and Void is getting the stage without getting hit. Very good.
Until he's going for a little bit more dangerous strat than Void did there to end the level, but sadly it's not a huge time saver. But every little bit counts,
Yeah, especially against Void.
There's still plenty of game for things to go wrong for either person. So
we're now at Gusty Glade from Void. We're now just seeing how the stage is not that easy as the one before.
Yeah, this introduces the wind mechanic. Most of it is pretty pattern based, so as long as you're moving pretty much the same way throughout the level, you're not going to experience anything. It's not going to start blowing left on you when you're expecting it to go right. The worst you can do is something like here, jump a little too early, and the wind hasn't started moving back to the right. That's a big part. So here, Void is team throwing into the barrel to create an airborne state, and what he's going to use that for is the goal swap here at the end. In order to get the goal swap, like shown here, you have to be your backup Kong or your secondary Kong has to be in an airborne state. And normally you're not there just by playing the level normally, but by team throwing into that barrel as you're falling, you do get that airborne flag set, and you're able to do the goal swap, which is a nice little time save because you want to play this level as Dixie.
Yeah, this is one of the most beautiful stages to watch at speedrun if this runner is going for the most optimal strat. And both are going to do it, so just enjoy. I really love this stage. Casually, you only need, you have to be with the purple parrots going down slowly. So, when you first time see this, is like so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Void, one small mistake there, but very good looking PCP. You know, it looks scary, and it looks like a really difficult level. And you know, the strats that Void and Antilles will be using are in fact pretty difficult, but even kind of like the intermediate level, someone like you know, learning the game, might have been playing for a few months. It's really not that bad. It's just it's a lot more memorization. It's not like there's a ton of muscle memory involved or a ton of tight movements. It's just kind of memorizing where, you know, when do I jump, when do I spin, all this kind of thing. It's actually, you know, which is hard to say for this game, it's a lot easier than you might initially think.
Exactly. And now we are in web boots by Void. It's very hard to put. Oh, he's going even for only 2 web platforms to get there. Very optimal strat. He's playing this like this stage is easy.
He's playing fearless, and I don't blame him with this run that he's on.
Wow, it's one of the most optimal web boosts I've seen of the tournament. Wow.
Oh goodness.
Impressive. Amazing.
Just clean play.
Yeah.
Now let's see how Crow does for him. So both Crows in this game are two of the major sources of RNG. There's not a lot of RNG in this game, but the RNG here is what side does the barrel spawn on. Left is usually pretty bad and right on cue. There it is, left spawn.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a big deal.
Antilles lost Dixie, but okay, he is okay. Could go for the barrel.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, headbutt.
He's gonna take the parrot. He did not bonk his head kind of on that kind of diagonal, but here he can just dive off.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, it's always good to know the backup strat if you don't bonk your head there. All right, meanwhile, I didn't see the spawn that time. I was too busy holding my breath for Antilles. But Void's on the final hit of Creepy Crow. Mid spawn, pretty. I don't know if that's better than right. Is that better than right spawn here? Just because you don't have to worry about any crows, you just go over and pick it up. But
very fast climb. Very fast rope climb.
This is a run by Void. Holy moly!
Holy moly! I'm getting really shocked about his run. You know, if Void is playing at this level, it's like unbeatable. Very hard to beat him. I don't know if he has done any mistake, and maybe some little mistakes, but pretty clean run.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's, you know, you don't want to take away from Antilles, who's, you know, having a 43 caliber run, which is really good in this game. 43 is really good, but Void is pulling out one heck of a run right now.
Yeah. He's showing why he has the world record right now.
that web didn't quite do it until he's wanted, so he made a safety platform there. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, the Arctic Abyss, which Void is coming to the end here on, another one of those stages that's more difficult than you initially think, because Unguard's hitboxes are pretty, I think sketchy. Sketchy is the word I'm looking for. You're gonna get hit a lot when you're thinking you shouldn't.
I mean, Antilles is playing really, really good. But the difference is because Void is playing, I don't know, like if he wasn't a human.
Well, I mean,
He's play-
tracing it back to two things. You know, the other than small optimizations, it's just been the short death on Cleaver. I mean, that was not even a long death that he took on Cleaver.
yeah,
And then the failing the wrong warp in Mudhole. I mean, and
exactly.
now it looks like a huge gap, and really Antilles has only made a few tiny mistakes, and then two moderate sized mistakes. It's crazy.
Totally crazy. Another tiny mistake from Void is he lost Dixie, but he knows the backup, so he lost just a little amount of time.
Yeah, Windy Well. It's kind of difficult at first. It's probably not highest on your priority of optimizing, because there's some tricky things like what's coming up here. The runner's called Ghetto Bees, where you try to sneak past bee number 2. Yeah, Void's backing out. That did not look like a good setup. So small time loss there. You can skip past the second bee. You can go under the first and second one if you set it up right, but Void smartly knowing that was not set up well.
Yeah. It's very important to know that you're not going to be able to do something and have the time to react and going for the backup.
Right, until he's playing a little bit safe there at the end to get to the midway point. Nothing more discouraging than getting near the midpoint, and especially on this level with the debatable hitboxes.
Yeah.
And dying at the midway point or right before it. All right, so important to keep both Kongs early in at the end of Windy Well, so you can do this. This is Castle Crush. If you've seen this, you kind of know how it works. You got to protect this barrel for about by the time you get it, about a minute 15, to do what we call the goal summon, and save about like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, you need both Kongs and the barrel, and just protect the barrel all the time.
So since I kind of missed it talking earlier, here's one of the small optimizations of Windy Well. It's kind of tough as you try to sneak under that bee. If you don't position yourself correctly, you're either going to get hit or you're going to fall down the shaft because you did not move enough to the right, or you moved right too early.
Yeah.
And then there's another easier one coming up right here. Sneaks under the bees and goes left. Small things like that newer runners really shouldn't concern themselves with. These are small optimizations that can lose you a lot of time. Void gets the clash. Yeah, gets the goal to come down to him.
Very, very fast. Even that warp was fast.
All right, so this is Clappers. This is in a sense it's not an easy level, but it's kind of a break compared to the rest of World 6.
Yeah.
With tricks and difficult maneuvers. This is a pretty straightforward level with one fairly big piece of time-saving tech if you do it right. Even on guard, we don't really care for on guard, but you get him for about 5 seconds and then he's gone. All right, so the tech we're talking about here is affectionately called Throw Your Girlfriend. Void's coming up here on. He's gonna throw Dixie to the right, hit the invincibility barrel, and he's on his way. And the goal is to pretty much go through every enemy in your way for the rest of the stage, and it speeds it up significantly. You can see how much speed he's gaining from rolling into all of these enemies. Easy. Sometimes that last crush it can be hard to get past, but did it with ease.
And until it's got all the bananas at the beginning of the stage.
Yeah, there's always a debate. Do you get all the bananas? Do you get none of them? There's not much in between. People rarely just, grab one set. All right, here comes Void on CLC. If Brambler isn't the hardest wrong warp, this one probably is because the positioning can be so finicky. Void plays it safe, though, and gets it first try. That was not the most optimal thing he could have done. He kind of walked away and came back for the clash. Or I guess in this case, the bash. But, without fail. Now, Toxic is the last big choke point. Screeches can be, a bit of a troll if you make a mistake, but this is the last kind of mechanically difficult level in the run. And it revolves, for the most part, around Bradley's double jumps.
Void is not missing any jump.
Yeah, this is just like the rest of this
Oh,
run, clean.
just said that and then missed one. But wow, what a what a toxic tower we're watching here. Okay, so
All
yeah,
right.
CLC was the last wrong word. So when you're out of the stage before toxic tower, you say, okay, no more wrong words. Let's just finish the game.
Breathe a little bit easier. Toxic's difficult, but there's no more big tricks.
Exactly. And he got the mega jump first try. That was the large jump, doing in a part where the waddle was at the right part of the screen. He's making it like as if it's easy.
All right,
Oh,
let's up in 3, please. Let's just finish off the cool stuff. All right, there you go.
oh man.
Oh my gosh, this is a good run, man.
Wow.
All right, Antilles is on clappers. See how well he does with the invent strats. Wow, Void actually lost 0.2 seconds in that world.
It's 3550, I think, getting out of War 6. Wow.
Oh, Antilles got held up a little bit there. He didn't quite jump fast enough.
Oh.
So, he still gets through though. I thought he
Yeah.
might have trouble with that Crusher, but did not. The jumper right. Let's see. Will Void do it for the fans? He's gonna despawn the cloak, so I don't know if he's gonna go anything crazy here. Oh, never mind. I lied.
Oh.
I am mistaken.
Now let's see wrong word from Antilles. Yeah. Oh, missed it.
No. Yeah.
Oh. So he has to go for the bonus game because he killed the viral enemy.
Yeah. Well, this is the most difficult to set up. It's one of the least punishing because you just enter the bonus game. It's not like Slime Climb where you have to do the rest of the level because you've hit the halfway point. It's not like Brambler where you die. It's a good time loss. You lose like 20 seconds, but not that punishing in the grand scheme of things. Gets it second try.
Yeah.
Was a little bit more cautious there. Made sure his IDs were going to be right. And Void gets through Screeches. It didn't look like he got the race skip though, because he got the flag there at the end.
I don't know if he got the race skip. Don't really remember. Oh, the mega jam from Antilles first try.
Yeah, very good toxic by Antilles here.
Yeah. I think he didn't miss any jam. I'm not really sure about it. And Void is now at the final boss. What a run. I don't know if he's going to do some swag things here, like Blue Diddy. I don't know
If he has a chance, if he has a chance to get a 40, I don't think he's going to take many risks, but we'll see. I don't think he's going to do a lot of time loss things. But Antilles kind of finishing out toxic here. I think he only had kind of one rough double jump by Radley. Other than that, every bit as clean as Void's. It was very well done.
I don't know. Can you say how many mistakes has Void made? It's like
nothing
like
of any significance.
Almost perfect.
Oh, wow. Antilles also gets up in 3. Wasn't quite confident, but he did get it. And up in 3 isn't a huge deal. Just saves you the trouble of making another web. Small time save. But Void here on what we've heard several times referred to as a glorified cutscene. The best thing you can do here really is kind of what Void just did there. He threw the cannonball almost as soon as he could. What you call dustless. You don't see any of the particle effects around K. Rool's gun. I think we saw maybe one speck there. It was very good though.
Yeah, he's making the shots very, very optimal. As K. Rool once starts the animation of getting you to him, you can throw the cannonball, but you can throw it a bit early if you know when he's going to do the animation. Just throw it, and Void is making very, very risky.
All right, Void on the last. Let's see what's he doing here.
Okay, race skip from Antilles.
Yep, Antilles did get the race skip. No Blue Diddy.
Oh.
Which, don't blame him. Let's see. So race skip's nice in that if you get hit or you're feeling a little bit less confident, that just means you can kind of take dangerous parts slow. But so far, let's see a little bit of okay. So he tried to go in between those Bs and didn't quite get it. But so far he's fine. Like I said, if he's ever feeling a little nervous, he can just slow down, take it easy. And he's on the K rule as well.
Starting K rule with 40 is a great time from Antilles. Very, very good time.
Yeah, he's on pace for a 43, I think, still.
Yeah. And let's see the time of V0oid. There's one.
Yeah, V0oid's on the last shot here. He's gonna get a 40-40.
Wow. Let's
40,
avoid
41,
this last one.
I can't even. That was.
Wow.
Remember, guys, V0oid's world
Amazing.
record is a 40-24. He was 17 seconds off because he split just a little late. 17 seconds off his world record in that run.
17. Wow. Wow.
All right, let's get V0oid in here for an interview for that while Antilles is finishing up K.
Please.
That was holy moly.
Holy. Wow. I mean, it's impossible to beat someone that's playing this level. Wow. Very, very. Very amazing. I was hyped for this race, but I didn't know he was going to just.
I did not know if I was going to see a 40, let alone one that good night.
40-41. My gosh.
All right, so Antilles here, closing it out. He is got 4 hits left on K. Rule, so he's in the last part of phase 3.
Hello, what have you done, V0oid?
What did I just watch?
I don't know. A run. Nice run.
Yeah, nice run is a way to put it.
Nice. Only nice, alright?
Yeah, I was legitimately thinking that I could PB with this run after World 4. I was only 3 seconds off my PB.
Wow.
I sat there and after World 5 I go, he lost .2? What did he do to lose time in that world?
Oh,
other than run into the clobber.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Oh man, that was a good show. I'm sure that feels a lot better after kind of the probably what you consider a disappointing time in your first match.
Yeah. Well, funny you say that, but like I really thought that I would choke again in Webwoods, but fortunately I didn't.
Yeah, it's, Antilles, I think he knows where he's at this point, so he does go for Blue Diddy. Give the fans another thing to smile about here tonight.
So
yeah, I opted out of swag completely in World 7. I would have gone for the jump if I was not on race PB base. So sorry, viewers.
So V0oid, can you tell us how do you feel about your run and if you can say the mistakes you may have?
Mistake.
Well,
because I cannot.
I mean, the run was obviously really good. I guess, like, I mean, Wall 5 was kind of sloppy. Like, I made a pretty bad mistake in Ghostly and, like, some slop in TCP, but overall, like, I really have no complaints about this run. Like,
yeah. All right, Antilles finishes with a 43-46, which is nothing to sneeze at by any means. I mean, that wins you 75% of the races in this tournament. That's, I mean, because we've only, up until tonight, we'd only seen like 3 or 4 42s. So,
yeah, 3 or 4.
So that was a great run by Antilles. That's definitely
nice run
somebody
for him,
who,
for sure.
Somebody who can make do a little bit of damage in the losers bracket.
Not as much damage as Cleaver can do, apparently.
Oh, what's up, man?
Oh.
You got the short hop on the first hit.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I thought it looked good and my timing was good, but it happens. But what I will say is when I get my my main goal was to beat Void, which obviously didn't happen. My second goal was just to be in K Rule before he was done. So
You got that.
I'm happy to get there, but then I look over a few seconds later and I see a 40, and I have to say I was happier to see him pull off a 40 in this thing than I was maybe anything else here. That's awesome, man. I'm very, very happy that you got that.
Thank you. You're from now on. I think you're my lucky charm.
Sorry, we can't race again.
Yeah.
Wait, you're not going to grand finals against Void?
Well, maybe. I guess we'll see.
Let's stay positive here.
Yeah, maybe. I guess
you had a good run. You had,
it did,
you know, there's 3 key points that pretty much lost you all of your time on your PB.
Pretty much.
Other than that, I mean, it was just clean. You just couldn't gain any time on Void because he was playing just lights out.
Yeah, I knew going into this that if I was going to have any chance to win, I was going to have to depend on Void making mistakes, and I was going to have to make none. So I had, obviously, the Cleaver death. I don't know how I missed Mudhole. I thought that looked good. And then CLC, which are 3 pretty common areas to make mistakes. So even though if I had made all those, it still would have been like a low to mid 42. So not really gonna compete with the 40.
Yeah, you were having like issues earlier when you were practicing Mudhole, and I don't know, like it looked good to me. I really don't know why you kept missing it.
Yeah,
Unfortunate.
I couldn't figure it out either. I think something about earlier today might have messed with my timing, but it is what it is. I wish I had done a little bit cleaner, but honestly, I got through the hard stuff and was just happy to be a part of it. So
I'm telling you, 43 is really good. Like I'm impressed. If you know, it's like I was saying, a handful of 42 so far. 43 does you really well in pretty much every other race so far. So it's just.
I mean, I've had all 43s in all 3 of my tournament matches, so I'm pretty happy with how this has gone for the most part. I'm glad to see myself getting that consistency.
It was a very, very good run, but when Void plays at this level, it's very, very hard.
I might have to change my Canis pick. Is it too late to do that?
That was just a good day for me, I guess.
But let's see. So Void, you've got Namix coming up next to. I don't know if you got to catch his run.
I have to comment that. He's
other
V0oid,
than
I'm
CLC,
commenting that right now.
He played really, really well. So he's riding a hot streak. I'm trying to see who you've got next Antilles. Well, I guess I might not know until they.
I think
update
both of the players the round before me are in. I don't remember who they are though.
But Void versus Namix is going to be a very good race to watch, I think.
Nam could beat him. Nam has a better shot than I do.
Yeah, I like going into this race. Like I consider you like to have the potential to beat me. Like anything can happen in a race, and if you can beat me, then Nam can definitely beat me as well.
Yeah.
And that would definitely be a really good race. I'm looking forward to that.
Antilles, we're not going to know who you're racing for a while, I think. Hold on. Let's see. 75. Actually, you're going to race either V0oid or KBZ.
Oh, nice.
That'll be a good.
Or KBZ. Either way, that's a fun matchup.
Too.
Yeah, I'd love to race either of those guys. That'll be sweet.
All 3 of your PBs are pretty close together, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think those KBZ has what, a 44 or maybe a high 43.
Yeah, it's a mid 42.
Oh, he has a mid 42. Oh, dude, we're like tied.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's right. That's right. He cut my time like just a little while ago.
Yeah, your PBs are like 6 seconds apart.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, V0oid just beat him for me, so I don't have to worry about that.
Don't worry, KBZ, you can't be too worried. You PB like every other day, it feels like. That's how it felt when I was watching you play DKC3, so you can't blame him for not knowing necessarily what your time is.
He did a DKC1 run the other day offline and he PB'd, like, just like that, randomly, yeah.
This guy, he's one of the legends.
Yeah.
All right, do you guys have any other comments? We got another race coming up here in about 10 minutes between, I think it's Nocturne and
This guy.
This
These
guy,
guy,
yeah.
yes.
Oh, that's a fun race too.
Yeah, stay tuned for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Void. Appreciate the race. Thank you, Supreme Niaki, for the commentary, and V0oid for the host. Definitely enjoyed it and have enjoyed being a part of it.
Yep, likewise.
Thank you for your race. It was amazing to watch and commentate. It was
Yeah, a 40. How awesome.
And 43 is a pretty good time too.
It's okay.
All right.
Okay, so this next race will be Nocturne versus the Sky. I'm going off. I'm Niaki. I'm going off. I'm gonna let you with Supreme again.
Yep.
This-
Thank you very much for hanging out with me.
And Chris. It was a pleasure to commentate with you
Yeah, it was
and to
great.
watch this amazing race. And just don't go away because the race is gonna be just right now, doesn't it?
Got just 9 more minutes, I think. We're going to do a little setup here.
Yeah. So well, thank you for listening and enjoy the donkey night. Goodbye.
These guy open for 69 fakes. Oh boy. So let's see. I'm gonna do a little background research, talk about these two runners while we're waiting. So Nocturne is a long time DKC runner. I mean, he's been around for several years. I say a long time when you look at the community as a whole. You know, over just like 6-7 years, he's been around. You know, like 3 or 4 of them. It's all relative, but Nocturne has a low 42. I want to say it's like a 42.0 something. 42.11. I was close. 42.11. So pretty high tier runner himself. D-Sky 44.27. So just like I was saying with the last match, anything can happen. Of course, we were then greeted with a 40. So it can happen either way, really good or really bad for someone. But both runners capable, they're close, so there's upset potential here, but I would certainly favor Nocturne in this matchup. Let me ask V0oid, how are you guys doing tonight? I'm sure most of you guys enjoyed that first race. So hopefully you're having a pretty good night. You're all hyped up on Donkey Kong Country 2 now. And just a reminder, if you are interested in learning any of the DKC games, or even Donkey Kong Land for the Game Boy Color, I think we have stuff on there too. Go to dkcspeedruns.com, and there's a lot of great resources there. What's up, Dusty? How's it going, man? Hi, Chris.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. I just watched one heck of a race by 2 great runners.
Yeah, it was a good one. Really good one.
We got another good one coming up here. I mean, we're getting to the point where most people are going to be in the mid 40s or lower. So we're going to get a lot of good races here.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to this one. Doc is running the game, like you said, for a long time, and this guy has too. Maybe not as long, but he was a dedicated racer for sure. He's always in the weeklies, pretty much every week.
I'm looking over here. I'm looking at these guys' splits, and I see sum of best is 42:30, which is almost 2 minutes below PB. So that's kind of a point where I say, you know what, there's at any point these guys could just randomly pull out like a minute PB when he's got that much improvement.
Definitely can. Definitely been on pace to do that before as well. And I think I'd say majority of his PBs were done in races because this guy's mostly a racer rather than an RTAer. So all of his PBs have been, I'd say like most of them anyway, were done in races.
Waffle's gonna play like Mango and Loser, so boy.
I could see that happening.
And then important thing to remember is that the winner here has an upcoming date night with Kryptonberry, who just pulled out like a 42:15 earlier tonight. So not you hope to advance, but you got a pretty tall challenge ahead of you if you pull the one out tonight.
The matches are getting harder. Competition's narrowing down, and that's usually what happens. It just gets harder and harder and harder. Is your computer situation fixed, Supreme?
No. So I guess I should apologize for this in the chat. Earlier today, there was supposed to be a race that I was restreaming, but my upload speed has been dipped to about 0.5 megabytes per second, which is much lower than the 15 that it should be. So I was having a lot of technical difficulties, and it is still not fixed. So I'm going to have a nice visit from the Comcast tech tomorrow.
Good old Comcast.
Yeah.
Awful.
They're guaranteed to be there before 10 a.m. So come about 1 p.m., you'll probably see some angry tweets from me about why they're not there yet.
Should have made a deal with them if they're not there, and you get like free internet for a month or something.
If only.
If only.
Oh, that's pretty much. I pretty much guarantee that's how it's gonna work, V0oid. And I won't be entirely sure that it isn't the technician's fault that happens. And you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Now pay me $60, bud, and then just walk out the door. Something like that.
$34 13. You see these guys?
Outstanding.
Nice meme.
I think we're about ready. I think they're both about to ready up, and we will be on our way right on time. guess while we're waiting, don't forget, if you want to support these channels, you can hit that subscribe button and help speed gaming out a little bit.
Pop that follow.
Pop that follow,
subscribe.
pop that subscribe. You got some, looks like 3 emotes there available to you. When I came in, I got Your Friend Christmas has just started watching. I was like, yes, Christmas is here. All right, we're good.
I think they're starting now.
Oh, yep, they're starting up, so we'll get going. I don't know what D-Sky was quite doing there, but... Alright, we're off.